Hello YouTube, this is Demon360 and welcome back to another video. Sorry if you hear background noises, there's traffic going on behind me. But anyway, today we will be looking at the top 10 characters who will not be featured in my Versus series. Now, I would just like to say it, I have several Versus series matches in the works. In fact, I'm working at 2 at once. Yeah, that's right. There are 2 matchups that I'm working on at the same time right now that I think you're all going to enjoy. But for today, I'm going to stop and take a look at 10, actually a few more than 10 characters that will most likely never be used in my Versus series. This is either because they're too obscure, too inconsistent, or I just have no personal desire to use them. Because I know Versus series are to entertain you guys, but they're also entertaining for me to make. And if I'm using characters I don't enjoy, then there's no real reason to make the video. It's not enjoyable. But I'll get into that later. We're just going to go down with the lists. And yeah, let's just get started. At numbers 10, 9, and 8, we have Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Plagueis the Wise, and Grandmaster Yoda. Now, these 3 characters have been used in Versus series before. You can totally use them. But that's kind of the reason why they're on here. These 3 guys have been used so many times by other Versus series creators that it's just not really fun to find opponents for them. They've been used so many times that there's just no opponents left for them, and that just doesn't make it enjoyable. When I could be using characters that aren't used very often, or characters that have never been used at all, and that I would enjoy it more to use a rarely used character than use one of these guys over and over and over again. It's now maybe way down the line, possibly I could use these guys, but if I do, it'll be years from now. So yeah, those 3 are the only 3 that will possibly be used. Possibly. Probably not. At number 7, we have Meetra Surik, or the Jedi Exile. Now, this one hurts me to place because I really do like the character of Meetra Surik, but apart from the things that she unlocks in KOTOR, there aren't a lot of other feats for Meetra. The Revan novel doesn't do shit to enhance her character, and apart from her gameplay mechanics in KOTOR 2, she really doesn't have anything. So, as much as I love the character, I really can't use her since she just has basic swings and force powers. It's really the same reason of the Hero of Tython or any of the SWTOR characters. Number 6, all of the Rebels Inquisitors. These guys are both inconsistent and lame. One minute they're failing to capture Kanan and Ezra, and the next they're fighting against Ahsoka and Maul, which they really shouldn't be. Add to the fact that these characters are boring. They are stereotypical bad guys that just kind of don't, and mustache-twirling villains like, ooh, mwahaha, I'm a bad guy, I have a lightsaber. I'm evil because, I'm evil. The Grand Inquisitor is probably the only one I would even consider of these guys, but even he is just not interesting to use and is just kind of lame, and he himself is quite inconsistent. However, there is hope, Inquisitor fans. As you see, everything I have said is about the Rebels Inquisitors, the Inquisitors who appear in the TV show Star Wars Rebels. I never said anything about not using the Fallen Order Inquisitors, such as Trilla or Ninth Sister. In fact, I have considered several different matchups to use Trilla, aka the second sister, in my Versus series. And unless you guys don't want to see her, I probably will use her. I do have several matchups planned before this, but in all likelihood, you could see her showing up to this Versus series. It's just really a matter of timing. Number 5, Tulak Horde. Oh my god, everyone stop overrating this guy. Look, Tulak Horde was stated by Traya to be this god-tier swordsman and everything, but was he really? I mean, he lived in an era where lightsaber duelists weren't very common. And I mean, sure, everything about him is just word of mouth. He doesn't actually have any actual feats, apart from pulling a ship out of space. But then again, Vader and Yoda and Kaitis could do all that stuff. Even Kakruk could do that kind of stuff. So, there's just nothing to Tulak, and he just wouldn't be interesting to analyze, if not downright impossible. Number 4, Darth Nihilus. This one hurts me, again, because I really like Nihilus. I think he's a really cool character. But in terms of a combatant, Nihilus's greatest advantages in a fight is his Force Drain. If he cannot use his Force Drain, then there's nothing really to him. It's not that, Nihilus is a weak character and I couldn't do an analysis of him. It's more or less that the opponents that could actually go up against him, it's really unbalanced and it's really difficult to do. And it would just be easier to just not use the character and move on to someone else, rather than spend all that time trying to find someone that Nihilus would either die to instantly or annihilate instantly. Number 3 is Darth Sidious, everyone's favorite Sith Lord they love to hate. The main reason why Sidious is here is he's just too freaking powerful. He's just too crazy powerful. And the more powerful a character is, or at least that I figured out, the more powerful they are, the harder it is to get a good fight in. And Sidious is one of the biggest examples. There are just too many people that are below him to make for an interesting fight. I can count the number of opponents for a versus battle with Sidious on one hand that would be somewhat interesting. And that's not good versus making. When I do versus videos, I want not only a good fight, but something not a lot of people would actually think about. And with only a few characters Sidious could hold his own against, then I couldn't do that. Number 2, Grandmaster Luke Skywalker. This is for the exact same reasons as why Darth Sidious is on this list. Grandmaster Luke is way too powerful. Again, there is almost nobody who can challenge him. Maybe Sidious, maybe Vitiate, maybe Crate for a good versus battle. But that's just not interesting. Those are just the same old guys over and over again. And that's just not entertaining for me when I could be coming up with way more interesting and exciting fights for you guys. He's too powerful. There's just... I'm totally cool with Grandmaster Luke being crazy powerful as a character, but for Versus series, he's just way too powerful. There's too many people below him, and that just does not make for an interesting Versus series discussion. However, guys, that doesn't mean I wouldn't use any variant of Luke Skywalker whatsoever. I would be more than happy to use either his Return of the Jedi or Dark Empire versions, as both characters are very easy to come up with analyses for, and there are a lot of opponents that can contend with both variants of the character. He would be fun in these two variants, But in terms of his Grandmaster, he's just way too powerful. And I'd find way better and way easier matchups with these two. Number 1, literally any character in either the sequel trilogy or the High Republic book series. Now, I know the High Republic hasn't actually come out yet, but from what I've seen of it, it looks terrible, and seeing as I'm quitting with Disney Star Wars, starting with the ghosting of Mando Season 2, and refusing to watch any more of the new movies or read any of the new books, I'm never actually gonna see these guys in action or actually know their feats. With regards to the sequel trilogy characters, Rey is an inconsistent Mary Sue. Luke is a depressed hermit with no saber or physical skills to his name, apart from doing something that Plagueis could do and die, and Plagueis didn't die. And in terms of Kylo Ren, while you could make a good analysis for him, he is consistent enough to make an analysis. I wouldn't enjoy myself doing it. It wouldn't be enjoyable for me. I don't like his character. I don't find him enjoyable. And not only do I want to make entertainment and stuff for you guys to enjoy, but I want to enjoy making these videos for you guys. And with Kylo, or any of these characters for that matter, I just would not be able to enjoy myself. I just wouldn't feel happy or any sort of joy. The same as how I feel with this new Star Wars, but we're not going to get into that today. But yeah, so in short, literally any character from Force Awakens in the Disney canon to onward. So like the characters in Taika Waititi's films, if anyone shows up in Mando Season 2, The High Republic, going on into the way future until Disney gets their act together, I will probably never touch any of these characters. Maybe except Trilla. Alright guys, that's gonna do it. Please, if you want to request seeing some characters in the Versus series or Versus series matchups, leave them down below. I would totally love to hear them, as I always love hearing new ideas. Everyone stay safe, peace, love, and may the Force be with you always.